Hello everyone, I'm going to teach you the first topic of history. This is the first topic of class 10 history. It is the rise of nationalism in Europe. So let us do the lesson rise of nationalism in Europe. I'm going to tell you the main points of the lesson nationalism in Europe. So let's start. This is a very important topic of class 10 CBSE. It explains how the idea of nationalism spread across Europe and then in many countries. So, before I explain the lesson, let us understand the meaning of nationalism. What is nationalism? Nationalism is the feeling of love, loyalty, and devotion towards one's country. It means love towards one's country. It creates a sense of unity among people who share a common history, culture, language, or tradition. So today's India celebrates Independence Day on 15th August. People from various religions, languages and cultures come together as one nation. So this particular term is called nationalism. Let us understand Europe before the French Revolution. Before 1789, Europe was divided into many kingdoms, empires, kings, and emperors ruled absolutely. Different people had few rights. The people had very less rights. Society was different, divided into different classes. Loyalty was towards the king, not the nation. For example, long ago Germany and Italy did not exist as single countries. They were divided into many small states. So, when the French Revolution occurred in 1789, the French Revolution was indeed a turning point in the world history. The reason for the French Revolution was heavy taxes, poverty, unfair treatment of common people, extravagant lifestyle of King Louis the 14th, and the important ideas where the revolution introduced three famous details. So, the three famous details were liberty, equality, and fraternity. These ideas inspired people across Europe. Changes brought by the French Revolution. The revolution introduced several reforms: the end of feudal privileges, equality before law, written constitution, right of citizens, the national flag, the national anthem, uniform laws, standard weights and measures. So these changes motivated people to think themselves as the citizens of a nation. Napoleon Bonaparte. After the French Revolution, Napoleon came to power. Although he became an emperor, he introduced many reforms. Now let us talk about Napoleon Code, Civil Code of 1804. It introduced equality before law, right to property, abolition of feudalism, uniform legal system. As a matter of fact, freedom of speech was limited, women had fewer rights, conquered countries disliked French rule. The Congress of Vienna, 1815, after Napoleon was defeated, European rulers met in Vienna. The objective was to restore peace, harmony, and monarchy. It was led by Prince Clemens Metternich of Austria. So the decisions where old monarchies were restored, France lost territories, strong kingdoms were created around France, balance of power was maintained, the rulers wanted to stop the spread of revolutionary ideas, liberalism. Liberalism means freedom. People demanded freedom of speech, freedom of religion, equality before law. Constitutional government, the right to vote, initially for property owning men, women, and poor people were not given voting rights at first. Let's talk about conservatism. Conservatives believed that traditional institutions should continue, kings and monarchies should remain. Sudden changes were dangerous, they accepted only gradual reforms. Now, let's talk about the revolution of liberals. People across Europe demanded national unity, democracy, constitution, freedom. Although many revolutions failed, they spread the ideas of nationalism. Now, let's talk about unification of Germany. Before unification, Germany consisted of 39 independent states. The main leader was Otto von Bismarck. He believed in the policy of blood and iron. This meant that Germany would be united through war, strong military, diplomacy, three wars: war against Denmark 1864, Austro-Prussian War 1866, Franco-Prussian War 1870 to 71. So the result in 1871, because Germany became a united nation, the German Empire was proclaimed into the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. Unification of Italy. Italy was divided into many kingdoms. The important leaders were Giuseppe Mazzini, inspired nationalism. Count Camillo di Cavour planned unification. Giuseppe Garibaldi led the red shirts, and the steps where Cavour united northern Italy. Garibaldi conquered southern Italy. In 1861, Italy became a united kingdom. Britain and nationalism. Unlike Germany and Italy, Britain became united gradually. It consists of England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. England became the dominant partner, creating United Kingdom of Great Britain. Now let us talk about Romanticism. It was a cultural movement. Romanticism was basically a cultural movement. Artists, poets, and musicians promoted nationalism through folk songs, paintings, literature, and national heroes. Their work inspired people to love their nation. Allegory of the nation. An allegory is a symbolic representation. Countries were shown as women. France, Mariana. The symbols were red cap, tricolor flag, broken chains. Germany, Germania. The symbols were sword, crown of oak leaves, black, red, and golden flag. These symbols encouraged patriotic feelings. Now let's talk about Balkan nationalism. The Balkans included countries such as Serbia, Greece, Bulgaria, and Romania. Many ethnic groups wanted independence from the Ottoman Empire. The conflicts contributed to the outbreak of the First World War. So, these are the important terms. Let me explain the important terms of this lesson. Nationalism refers to love and loyalty towards one's nation. Liberalism is belief in freedom and equal rights. Conservatism, support for traditional institutions. Suffrage is the right to vote. Revolution is sudden political or social change. Monarchy is the rule by a king or queen. Nation state is basically a country where people share a common identity. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood this lesson very well. I have explained the summary of the lesson, the rise of nationalism in Europe. Thank you so much. Let's meet in the next video. I'll be explaining the important concepts with regard to history, civics, geography, economics, as well as English. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye bye.